Well, yeah, we made it to another Viva Fresh. Although, this time it feels a little different. I'm scratching my head. I just can't put my finger on it. Can you think what it might be that's different this
Well, look
time?
around. I
Well,
mean, what do
I'm
you want?
looking around and I'm trying to figure out what the hell is going on.
You
I
need
don't know.
my glasses or no? I mean, we're not in the lobby between like
The
the
toilet.
men's room
Remember,
and
we,
the.
we were so close to the
Well, I mean, I'm
toilet
trying to
last.
keep it clean. Women's room, men's room, ladies' room, men's room. Yeah, that's where we're at last year. So, no, we're smack dab in the middle of the expo floor. So awesome.
Yeah, for sure. Awesome. And Viva Fresh is close to you and I. It's in a special place in our heart.
Sure.
Being from the very front of this thing, they've been so good to us. The show, the Fresh Cred, it's been a great partnership, and again, it's been good to be part of it. We're beyond thrilled to be here, be able
Yep.
to attend, be able to do this from the show floor, and be part of it. So it's been great.
Yep. And for those of you listening, you're going to hear from sponsors, guests, individuals today, which without we couldn't be here. We definitely want to thank them. Colimex, B&M Avocados, IFCO, Full Tilt Marketing, Santis Produce, Sunfed, Splendid, and Produce Careers.
Well, thank you, Viva Fresh. Thank you, all of our sponsors. And thank you, Ed.
And thank you, Craig.
And thank you, Ed, for being such a good friend.
You're so thankful.
And enjoy the show.
And we're back.
Wow. Hey, welcome.
Funny how that happens.
Yes.
All right, so we're back, Viva Fresh Expo 2023 here in Dallas, Texas, and we are now joined by Cindy Swanberg Schwing from Splendid.
Yes, glad to be here.
All the way through, right?
Yeah, all the way,
Okay.
yeah.
Awesome. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your sponsorship and support. I know you were very enthusiastic about doing this with us, so that's always great to have, right? We'd have to drag you up here.
Well, you had to almost come find me
Yeah.
because we were getting like hammered on the first row over there. The traffic flow is
They're
amazing.
getting hammered?
We've
Like-
got
Like a ton of people.
Oh, a ton of people. I thought they were drinking lots of tequila. or
Oh,
something.
no, that's not yet.
Okay.
That's just
Well, that's
later.
what I was thinking. They got started early. So.
No,
Well, thanks for being here, Cindy, for sure.
thank you. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
What do you think so far?
The show is rocking.
Okay.
Fantastic participation.
Yeah.
It's growing every year. It's very encouraging.
I think we're hitting our stride.
I do.
I think we're hitting our stride
Absolutely.
now. Mixing it up with Houston next year. I mean, I love this property and I love Dallas, but it's time for a change. So we'll be in Houston next year and it'll be an opportunity, let's say.
And then maybe come back to Dallas after that. Is that the plan, or we don't know yet?
San Antonio after that.
Oh,
Yeah, San Antonio. We're a few years out. I don't know. Dallas will probably be back on the list, but
Probably not before you retire.
I was going to say I'm probably be out and well.
I think
Come
maybe
on
Look,
now.
look at
You're
this
gonna be
gray. Look
leaving
at this
us?
gray hair. Are you
I
kidding
think-
me?
I think Elon's
Longevity,
No,
life forever.
no, Elon's whatever city he's developing, what's it called?
Oh,
I think it'll be there
it's like
could
before
be.
you retire.
yeah, that's probably true. That's more factual. Hey, so before we get too far off in this, Cindy, I want to know, and thanks, as Ed already said, so we really appreciate you and Splenda. Tell us a little bit about your company, what you guys do, what the industry and all that kind of stuff.
How you came to the industry?
Yeah,
So, do you want me to start with the industry or the?
you know
back.
what feels right to you?
So I'll just tell you that I ended up in the produce business ways back, 25 plus years back, out of grad school. Was headed for the cotton industry because I'm a farmer's daughter,
Grad
and
school,
that's what we grew.
Grad school, where?
MBA school in California,
Okay.
Monterey Institute.
Oh, nice.
And it was an international degree, so we were working with a lot of internationals, and it turned me on to the whole international thing, global, and speaking other languages too, which is a big thing too, I feel, when you're working internationally, is to understand and speak the language if you can. And so it just started there. I was with Texas Sweet, first job out of the chute, and went to the supply side after that. I've worked citrus, onions, melons, watermelons, mangoes, tropicals, and that's where I've stayed now.
But now, if I'm not mistaken, you didn't put all those 25 years together, right? You did step away for a minute.
I did. We relocated to a city where I wasn't close to the product anymore, which is really important, as you know. And so I did some things that I thought would be in my future, like teaching school. Got really interesting. I taught Spanish
All
in high
right.
school. Yeah, worked for a food service broadliner, Benny Keith. Shout out to Benny Keith.
Shout out.
Taught me a lot about the food service industry, and we owned a restaurant for a while. So I've dabbled in a
Wow.
lot of things, but I
Goodness
came
gracious.
back. I came back.
So why? What brought
So-
you back?
How long were you gone from the industry?
About 8 years.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
But
significant.
I was in touch with people still,
That's
which
long
is
enough to-
really important. You
that's
know,
long
when you
enough
go
to
away, you
forget.
gotta exactly. Well, and so much happens in 8 years.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
a lot of mergers had happened. So I came back in and with a second wind, and it was in my blood. You asked about that. What
Mhm.
was it?
Right.
It was like this is you go to where you're comfortable,
Right.
really, and that's where I was comfortable, and it feels right, like you said. And you start renewing those old friendships, and you kind of reconnect, and it starts flowing, and yeah, I went to work for I was with another company, and then I worked for the National Mango Board, and then I ended up with Splendid, and here I am.
So all right. So now it's Splendid. What all are you guys up to?
So Splendid is a growing company, family owned, office out of Nogales, Arizona, although the headquarters is in northern Sinaloa in Los Mochis. Like I said, family owned, so there's a lot of different family members involved, and several packing houses. We grow a lot of our product, which is a good thing when you can vertically integrate and control supply. And so I think that's one of the things we benchmark off of. We work with other growers too. We outsource, of course, but we not only have mangoes, that's our big item, but we have vegetables too. So we grow sweet corn, green beans. We have winter squash, peppers. So we're extending our line every year, let's just say. And
That's cool.
retail was an area we just wanted to expand into. It's just
Right.
a natural thing.
For sure.
So, and we're crossing at 2 points, Nogales and Far.
Mhm.
And we go offshore after the season ends. So we're a year-round supplier of mango, which is a big thing.
Yeah.
To hold on to the shelf space nowadays, you really, as an industry, we've got to keep our mangoes out there, and we can't lose that space. So
Consumers expect it all year long.
they do. And consumers are getting pickier even about the varieties that they want,
Yep.
which is always interesting.
And they expect it to taste.
It's a byproduct
super
of
good.
education.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It tastes super good
Absolutely.
every time they cut a mango, and yeah,
And there are so many tools that can assist them
Yeah.
with those who still don't know mangoes. I mean, there are websites out there they can go to and how to learn how to choose, how to cut, recipes, all of that. So a lot of us are putting it on our boxes now, packaging.
So Ed, do you know what the number one fruit in the world is?
Apparently it's mangoes.
It is. Absolutely. You did your homework.
I'm glad he
Good
did
guess.
something.
Good guess, Ed. Good guess.
So that is spreading. And I think it's, I don't know if originally it would have been called sort of a cultural fruit, but it's taken on. And I think that the younger set too, millennials love it. It's new and different. It's adventurous. They can make it in salsas, and integrate it with.
But that's surprising. Why? Because it's very.
It's an
obvious-
interesting
it's in
flavor.
Asia, it's very popular in Asia, right?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Yep.
and that's what I think folks, maybe the American consumer is not
Asian
thinking
and,
about
and
because
Hispanic.
we only think about our kind of market.
Right.
But, okay.
So a good example is something we were talking about recently in an Asian store. They didn't have like stir fried vegetables available in a bag,
Mhm.
and so I heard some comments about why don't they have it? Well, but they have bok choy and they have a lot of other things like that. They like to cook with their meat, but they don't do it like the American way and just throw the bag of vegetables.
Really?
And we expect that,
Yeah.
because we like the convenient items.
Sure.
Which touches mangoes because fresh cut now is a big thing
Oh yeah.
and growing market. The convenience factor,
believe
grab
me,
and go, all of that.
Value added.
If I'm eating
Value
mango,
added.
it's probably value added just because,
And the quality's improving,
yeah.
so that's a good thing.
I tell you what, almost every time I eat a mango, it's standing in front of my refrigerator with it open, and I love the ataulfos. That's my go-to. So
That's my favorite
I
too.
almost always either right by the fridge. It's on instant, right? There is some prep to be done.
Yeah.
So I love them.
But once you have it down, it's easy.
Oh yeah.
Once you learn how to cut them, it's easy. It's
For
not
sure.
Hey, do you see anything? Just curious on the mango deal, right? And I've been to Costa Rica and had mangoes in Costa Rica, which are amazing.
Mhm.
Or anywhere where they're grown, and you can consume them off the. It's not really a tree, is it?
Mango trees.
Is it? It is a
Mhm.
tree. All right.
Yes.
So right off the tree, but we have to obviously you heat treat the mango still, right? For pest.
Well,
or,
in
or,
our zone, we do not hot water treat. It's a pest-free zone, so
Really?
that's actually a plus for a lot of retailers that don't want it treated with hot water. Yeah, but when
Re-
we outsource, we're pulling from areas that do. So we handle both.
So you can cross. You don't have to do cobalt or anything.
No.
You can do. You just come.
It's
across.
understood that it's not treated.
Wow.
Yeah.
That would be a heck of a marketing. That's something good to know. I'll be sure and look for that when I'm buying
Just
my
ask
mangoes.
for Splendid label. Just
For
keep asking
sure.
for the Splendid label.
No, I mean that makes a huge. That's what I was getting at. I mean the difference between heat treated and not. And I was just wondering if there was any technologies that you saw out there that was going to change that. Right? Was there anything that you see on the horizon that eventually you'd get away from the heat treatment?
There's a lot of experimentation going on with irradiation now. I don't know how accepted it is yet, but there's a huge effort going on for that. But when we have so much established in the South with hot water facilities already being owned by a lot of the mango importers, you can understand why that's not a popular idea.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Plus, you don't know sometimes. I mean, that fruit how it's going to hold up
Right.
after that treatment. So I always just say, just make sure you're cutting it, and it's going to be cutting, and it's not jelly-like or anything else.
Yeah.
You want it to stand up and hold.
Right.
So
Well,
what else can I tell you?
I don't know. Before we get out of here,
Mhm.
they are kind of waving us that we need to move along a
Well,
little bit, but
We're also going to follow up with her after we get back home,
for sure.
so you can tell us about how the rest of the show went.
But
Okay.
besides that, so just before we go, you said that you speak Swedish, correct?
I do.
So you speak Swedish and you worked on a farm.
I speak Spanish too.
Yeah. And so just real quick, you graduated out of Monterey Institute, and
That's not when I went to Sweden.
I know I
No.
get that. I mean, I'm just curious, what part of this career were you working on a farm in Sweden? That's what I'm trying to get to before we wrap this up.
So I knew I was half Swedish from way back, and I wanted to know what it meant to be Swedish. And so I wanted to be an exchange student. So it's called the gap year in between high school and college. So that was the year I went abroad, my 13th year abroad.
Oh,
Lived
my
with a
goodness.
family on a farm and actively helped in the harvest, and it was amazing.
That is
Wow.
awesome.
So I was and still very in touch with them. I've been back many times to see them, and they come here too.
Can I go next time?
yeah, I was
So-
gonna say, I wish I'd have known.
It's so interesting
I'll work
because
for my supper. I mean,
Lars would probably really appreciate that. Actually, my Swedish brother.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, farmers speak the same language too,
Yeah.
and it's interesting to compare with equipment and everything that's available there versus here, and what they're doing and what their ideologies are with regards to farming, and it's interesting
that's
to
crazy.
compare notes.
I think
so.
we can spend a
Thank-
whole other hour on that on our next visit.
Well, we'd spend a whole nother hour, me and you, trying to figure out how we get on that trip, right?
Yeah, on
that
How,
program.
how we take our
I
gap
already,
year.
No, I already know that
I've
you're
had a
thinking.
gap life.
I'm thinking that you want to just go see the blonde Swedish women is what I'm thinking.
I was thinking golf,
Yeah.
but okay.
yeah.
There's a lot of good golf over there.
So, Cindy, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It has been. I
Thank you
appreciate
for being
having
with
me.
us.
Yes.
You're always a pleasure.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I
you're
think-
always.
I was gonna say,
when
we've got
when
a
I'm
couple-
at the shows,
We
I
got three
mean,
talkers up here. It could we could almost combust. I think if we continued to go too far. So we better just call it for now and then get
That's
back
good.
together.
So
Thank you so much.
thank you
Thanks,
very
Cindy.
much, and we're gonna grab a photo before you get out of here. But thanks a lot, Cindy,
And
uh,
thanks for the
you.
support.
Yeah,
thanks,
thanks for the
Splendid.
support.
Absolutely. We're glad to do
Splendid
it.
by Porvenir.
See, by
Por
Porvenir.
Venida.
Yes.
Very
Thank
nice.
you.